Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away, and it's a sad day because this is the last pack, pack 12 of Modelspace's Build Your Own Thunderbird 2. What a journey that's been, hasn't it? And to be honest with you, I'm really impressed with the progress we've made on the actual ship. And can you believe at the end of this video we're going to have a finished product? I can't wait to get to that. But listen, if you have watched these videos, or this is the first time you're watching this video and you want to subscribe to yourself, just go to this web address down here, type that web address in, and as you can see, you get 5% discount off each pack. And you can have the packs over 12 months or 24 months, whatever's more convenient for you. And you can build this along with me. But, you know, I can't wait to get cracking on this. So let's do this. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing, obviously, the whole ship, and we're going to be building a couple more support vehicles. We're going to finish off the Cobra half track. We're going to be building a mobile crane as well, so that's all going to be good. But the first thing we're going to be doing, stage 74, I've got this pack already. We're going to be doing the tail wing ramjets, and that looks like that. Everything in the pack there, and obviously the bits down the bottom of there are for the Cobra half track. So what we'll do, let's get these open and just get out the bits that I need. Now the only bits that I need are the this bit here. Look at all of these lovely vent sort of things here. We need all of them, and that is it for the minute, because everything else over there I'm going to put over there for now is for the Cobra half track. So where do we start? I'm just looking at this, and you've got the only difference between these two sides of this, just so you know, is one side has a tab at the top here. I'm sure that's going to be important later, but we'll figure that one out later. But the first thing it wants me to do, oh, it's telling us now actually that the front is okay, so this side is the front of the vehicle, and this side is the back. So look at that, front, back. We're going to need that. I know we're going to need that. Now these things are also directional, so they should tell you what they've got actually on them. So as you can see, this one has got a R on it. So that's get that in the light. There we go. R. So we've got an R and an L. The other ones I'm not sure. They've got nothing on them, so I'm going to put them to one side for the minutes. It says the left and right backings are marked with an L and an R. It says glue one of the ramjet covers to the right backing like this. So we'll get the R one, and we're going to be gluing. All of these are exactly the same by the look of it, so it doesn't matter which one we put on. But these are going to be glued pretty much. Let's figure out what way around this goes. They're going to be going into these little hole sort of things here. So these are going to be going on just like that. So that the hooks on the other side will be going down onto this lip eventually. But this does need to be glued on. So let's dab some glue onto this now. I'm just going to dab some glue just around the centre bit, I think. I think that's probably the best thing. Hopefully I've got some glue left. Yeah, I think just in the centre is going to be enough, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to need any more. But we'll push this in. And that's the first one on. That was simple, wasn't it? And we're going to repeat the same thing for the left one. So I've got the one with the L on there. So we'll do exactly the same thing. On the flat side again, remember, just putting some glue just around the circle there. Not a lot, because you don't need to swamp these things. And there we go, and that's the second one in as well. So now we've got to do the same for the central ones. These are the central ones. So nice and quick. Obviously the central ones haven't got any L's or R's or anything on. And last but not least, let's do the last one. They look really good. Right. I get impressed by the most smallest things. Have you noticed that? Right. Okay. And then we'll just put this one on as well. And then that's all four of these ramjet covers. That's what they're calling them. Okay, and what we're going to be doing, it says find these downward facing hooks on the back. They're the ones that I told you about before. As you can see from the side, they're pointing down there. Okay, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting these, so glue the right ramjet and back into these notches at the lower right rear of the lower tail wing. So as we know, that's the front, this is the rear. So we're going to be doing the glue the right ramjet. Oh, I've got to find the one that says R again. Is going to go to the lower right ramjet. So that's going to be this one, and it's going to be going on just like that. And we're going to be gluing that into place. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to glue that. I'm guessing it's probably best to put a line of glue just on the bottom there. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not putting too much on there, just enough to keep it held in. So yeah, this is the right one. Making sure it's held in tight. And then we're going to be doing the two central parts and then obviously the left one. So they'll all go along there. So let's get all of this glued in place now. There you go, plenty of glue. So we want a centre one. This is the central one. We're going to put that in. So making sure they're straight. Then we need another central one, which is this one here. That will work perfectly. Just giving it a little bit of pressure just to keep them in, making sure they're all level. They're all level at the moment. And last but not least, we're going to be putting the left one in. So that's going to go in just like this. And then when we're finished, we've got it looking just like that. That looks really good, doesn't it? Looks like the picture, so that's always a good sign. And that's stage complete. So basically we can put this just to the back there because you just know we're going to be coming back to that. But what we have got is all these bits now that we're going to be fitting to the Cobra half track. Now, if you remember in the last issue, this is where we got to. So what we'll do is we'll tip all of this out and we'll see what goodies we have to do. I think the first thing I'm going to do, just notice we've got a really delicate sprue on here. So I'm going to cut these two pipes off the sprue first. And it has been mentioned to me, Wayne, they say, Wayne, why haven't you got a sprue cutter? And you know what? I think I am going to get one because these tweezers I've used for God knows how many years. And I think it is time now. I've got to bite the bullet and say they've had their day. Because if you look at the ends of these, look how like chipped and stuff they are at the end. They've seen better days. But yeah, I've used them for a long, long time. So I'm just cutting these pipe work off, being really gentle with it. But the reason I used nail clippers originally was because it gives such a clean, like, look at this. I've just cut that off the sprue there. Look how clean that's come off the sprue. And that's why I used nail clippers in the past. But I think, yeah, after this build, it's time to get myself some sprue cutters. And you watch, I'll go out and buy myself another set of nail clippers. I use these nail clippers as well. I think I've mentioned it before because, as you can see, they are straight. They're not curved like normal nail clippers. They give a nice straight edge there. Anyway, so first thing we want to do is we need this detail here. Let's just move this over to the side. This really tiny detail here with a little sort of like control box on it. We're going to be adding a little sort of other detail, which is, God, I'm having a look around. Which one is it? It's sort of like a circle, and I'm not seeing it. Where is it? Look at that, I found it. There was a pack on the floor as well. See, I could have lost that. Now these bits are extra tiny, so we've got to be careful with this, because the bit that we want is just this circle bit right here. Now I've got my tweezers, just in case I need them, but what's going to happen is, it says glue the steering wheel to the dashboard, all details will be glued. So this is the steering wheel. I'm just going to make sure that this goes in okay, because if you remember when we did Alan's racing car, it didn't go in. So I want to make sure that this goes in absolutely fine. Yeah, that's going to go in absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to drop some glue just onto this bit here, and I think I am going to hold this because you just saw that just catapulted off, and I don't want that to happen. Just a little bit of glue there, and I'll get this put in, oops, the right way. There we go. That's the steering wheel in, and that's going to look just like that. There we go. Right, step 2, it says it should be level. As you can see, it's lovely and level, like that. There shouldn't be any coming out the back, so we need to make sure that that's flush at the back there, which it is. It's nice and flush, just like that, nice and flush. Okay, right, step 3, we're going to be putting this in the vehicle. So if this is the vehicle here, it's going to be going in the front. It's going to be going into these 2 holes at the front facing to the rear of the vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dob some glue just inside where this is going to go. One there, nice and easy, this bit, which is a good sign. Okay, and then that is the dashboarding, just like that with the steering wheel. Now once we've done that, obviously we need some seats, and the seats are going to go into the 2 holes behind it. So dab some glue just into those seat holes there. 1, 2. And we'll put the seat in. And that just goes in perfectly as well, like that. Okay, next one is, we've got to turn the page. This is stage 5. We've got a back sort of header board, which they're calling just a bulkhead. It's going to sit just behind these two bits here. And that's going to go in with the silver facing towards the seat. So I think on this one, I'm just going to dab some glue on the pins. 1, 2. I've noticed this glue has lasted a lot longer this time. I think this glue's lasted a few packs. Okay, getting the bulkhead in. That's quite tight. I don't think that would have needed glue in, actually. It's so tight, but that looks just like that. So that's the bulkhead in. Once we've done the bulkhead, it says the parts will all be level with each other, which, yes, they are. That's no problems at all. Now we're going to fit a roll cage on the vehicle. This is the roll cage here. I'm just seeing if that's directional. To be honest with you, it's very symmetrical, so it's not. But that's going to go over the top of this area here, just between the bulkhead and the seat. So I think I'm just going to drop some glue just in these pinholes here. I don't like putting glue, just so you know, on clear perspex, because it smokes it up. It smokes it up and makes a little mess, and I don't like that. So but we'll put that one on that side, that one on that side. Oh, we need to make sure this is level. It's a little bit tricky, this one, because it's got to go in the holes, but I want it to be level in the holes, you see. That's okay, I'm just holding this in at the moment. But that's going to be on just like that. And that was step 7, and step 8 is just showing you what it looks like. So in a second I'll be able to take my finger off of that and have a look how that looks. There we go. Just like that. That's excellent. Okay, right. Step 9, we're going to be putting the headlights in. Now the headlights are just this bit here. I'm just seeing if they've got a direction which way round they go. It does look, again, very symmetrical, so I'm just going to see if I put it in that way or if I put it in the other way, it's not going to make any difference at all. They are symmetrical, so I will just glue these in now. This is the headlights, and again, doesn't need a lot of glue. Put these in. Oh, actually, they have got a little tab on them, and the tab is they're putting it in with the tabs further into the top by the look of it. I'm just having another look. They don't actually show you, but I think that, you see these two tabs, they're slightly off centre there. I think I am going to put them in. They need to be in so they match the side images there. So let's have a look. I'm putting it in with the tabs to the bottom. If you put it in with the tabs to the bottom, then that lines up those things at the side there perfectly. Okay, so that was the headlights in. That was step 10, 9 and 10 done. Now these little bits that we cut off, the pipes, will be going on these two bits here. These are just some railings here. They're called bonnet rails. So what I'm going to do is dab some glue just into these bits here. 1, 2, and hopefully this will go in nice and easy. I am going to probably use tweezers just to help me on this one. These are the really fiddly bits, so one side's in, get the other side in. Gonna need some help. There we go. Now obviously these railings you don't want to push all the way down, but that's one set of railings in there. Looks good. Do the same for the other side. Again, not too much glue, just a little dollop just to keep it in. 1, 2. Now this one, I'm going to try and do with my hands rather than tweezers. So I've got one side in. Getting the one side in is easy. It's getting this other side in is a bit of a pain. So there we go. And that's it. And make sure it's level with the other one, which that one is. There we go. And that's them two done. Let's just show you how level they are and show you from there as well. So that's the two railings in. It said it should be level. That's step 12. Step 13 says repeat on the other side, which we've done. Right, step 14, we're going to be putting the windshield in, which obviously follows the contour of the window there. So once again, it's perspex, so I'm going to put glue just on this bit here rather than the actual perspex, because I want that to be nice and clear, you see. So let's put that one in there and there. That's gone fine. So if you do that, see how clear that stays in? That's what we want. So that's the windshield in. That was step 14. Step 15, we're going to fit one of the searchlights. And the searchlights are these tiny things here. It says fit one of them. I can only see one of them. Is there another one somewhere? Am I missing something? I think I'm missing something. I haven't got another one. So I'm going to check the floor. Make sure I'm not missing anything on the floor. Well, I think what I'll have to do is I'll have to come back to that and just check my video to see if I did have 2 in that pack, because I've only got 1 here, which is interesting. But anyway, we're going to be putting one of these headlights in. It's certainly going to look a bit off if I haven't got the other one, that's for sure. So we'll put that in, and then later on, hopefully I'll find it. It will be a complete pain if that's not there. But make sure you put this in the right way as well. I've got a little bit of glue there that I don't want there, so I'm just going to get that off. Perfecto. Putting it in place, making sure it's straight. There we go, and that's one of the headlights in. But I can't do the other one because I haven't got that here. It's just weird that that wasn't in the pack. I'm definitely going to have a look at that later and see if I think, because it's really weird that we don't have the parts. Of course, if it was in the pack, then I'm going to have to dig this place apart to try and find it. I'm just looking on the floor to see if anything's fallen out. But no, can't find that. So we'll go on to the next stage. That's a shame. That's the first bit I've actually lost that I can't find. Look, it looks weird just having one. But we'll get the other one in, I guarantee it. Okay, next one, we're going to fit the canvas pack. So this canvas pack is going to be going onto these booths here. Now we've got 2 of these. And we've got 2 of these white things that are going to be fitting onto it. So the way they fit on is just on this side here. I'm just seeing if they are directional. Not really, to be honest with you. So they have got a shape, as you can see in there, and that's going to match the shape that's on there. So once we put these in, just like that, you know what? I'm not gluing those in. They've gone in so tight. That's the first one in. And we're going to do the same with the second one. This is step 17. Let's see if this goes in as tight. Yep. So that's those 2 in there, and then we're going to be putting the we're bringing this back over. We've got these little tiny bits now. These are going to be going into the side of the vehicle. Now the way they go is with the yellow dot there towards the actual canopy section. So when we put these in, again, they've got a shape on them just like that, so they're going to match the shape of the vehicle there. So you know you're putting it in the right way. This one's going to be going in this side, so I'm going to drop some glue just in both of these holes here and this side. Just a little tiny bit, and we'll put these in. So the first one in, that's the first one in, and we do the same for the second one. There we go, that's those 2 in just like that. Then we're going to be putting, let's have a look, the bigger ones in. These are directional again, so the way these go are with the, as you can see, if we show you this, you've got a little space on the other side there. The space bit is going to go towards the back of the vehicle, which means that this one's going to be going in this side here. So I'm going to put some glue just in here as well. I don't think I explained that very well, actually. Look, the as you can see on this, you've got a bigger section gap there than you have there. So it's the bigger gap there that's going to go towards the base of the vehicle. You see, I need to make sure that I explain that better. So that's the first one in. And then we do the same with the second one. Make sure it's around the right way. It has to be around the right way anyway, because as you see, you've got a little shape to put this in. So that's the second one in there. Excellent. So we've got those 2 bits in just like that. Then we're going to be putting the whole canopy over, and the canopy is going to go obviously this way. This way, because obviously you want people to climb out the back of it. So let's get this glued in as well. I'll put some glue just on these pins here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is this one here. Make sure it goes into all these holes. There we go. And there you go. And that is the Cobra half track completed. All we need now is that missing headlight, which I'm sure is going to appear. These things always got this habit of appearing halfway through the build. So I'm going to put that to one side. And you can look at these pictures here. Hopefully the pictures I'm putting up are with the headlight that's missing, been found and replaced. Obviously, if it didn't come, then I'll have to get that piece again from Modelspace. But I will check when I open that bag if they went on this surface. If it did, it's probably pinged off behind and I will find it. But these things happen during a build. So don't let it stress you. Okay, the next start, we're going to be on stage 75 now. We're going to be doing the tail wing intakes. So this has got loads of sprues on, and I think what we're going to do with this one is we'll get all of these parts off the sprue. Let's open this up. Got another tail wing there, but look at all of them sprues there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take off all the bits on these sprues here because we're going to need them, and I think I'll come back once they are all off.
A few moments later.
Okay, look, they're all off, and there's 48 of these. This is going to be a big old job because what we're doing is, this is going to be crazy. Okay, we've got these vents. We've got 4 of these vents, and we've got to basically stick these in to little holes just like that and glue them in, and we've got to repeat that all the way through, and that is going to take an absolute age. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to get these all done and show you what they look like, and we'll cut away and see where I got to.
One eternity later.
There we go, look, they're all done, and look, I've got like 4 spare. How cool's that? So I'm going to keep them to one side. Shame they didn't give us some spare headlights, which I'm sure I'm going to find. I'm going to keep going on about that until I found it. But once they're done, that was steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically 12. We've got 12 of these done, all the way up to stage 12. And as you can see, we've got hooks on the back of them, just like last time. Let's see if you can see that. And basically these are going to be going into this part of the vehicle here. Now what we're going to be using is, sorry, this part here. This is the part that we had in the first time where we put these on the back. Now these are going to be going on the other side, and these are going to be hooking over just like this. Now I'm just going to see if any of these have got any letters on, which I don't think they have. Glue the right intake to these notches on them. So one of these does have an R on it, I'm guessing. I'm just having a quick look at them all. Ah, yes, they do. See, just on the bottom there, just there's an R. So the right intake is going to be going onto this right-hand side over here, just like that. Oh, as a matter of fact, hang on. It says glue the right intake. Oh, God, right, okay. So the right intake's going to be the right to this part here. So it's going to be going on this side. God, we've got to get that right, because to me, that looks like it's going to be left. So that's going to be going on just like that. So let's get these glued in as well. You just know I was going to put that in the wrong way then, but I'm glad I saw that. I don't want anything else to go wrong. I'm still ticked off about the that damn headlight. Now I've lost the right blooming thing. Right, okay. Right, that's the right one, so we'll put that one in first. Just like that. And then we're going to be putting a centre one in. That one's the left one. So that'll be the centre one. Then another centre one. And this is going to take us all the way up to basically steps 19. And then the left. Now what I have noticed, once this one's in, is I've had one just come loose here on this side here. So I'm just going to put a little dab more glue just in this section here. And get that one back in. Like that. Oops, give it a bit more pressure. So what you can see is we've got all of the silver side there completed. We've got all of the vents on the back. That looks really good, doesn't it? And now we're just going to sandwich these all together. We're using this piece here. Now the way this goes is obviously these tabs here are going to line up with the tabs at the bottom. So it can only go on one way. But when it is all together, it's going to look just like that. Nice little sandwich section there and there. But we need to hold this together. So 6 screws in here. It wants us to do it up exactly like we would do a rocker head cover. So it's given us, as you can see in the picture here, an idea of the best way to screw these all up. So get all the screws out there. So the first screw we're going to be putting in is the one just at the top left there. Get that one in first. It's gone in absolutely lovely. Make it nice and tight. Second one is going to be the complete opposite corner down here. And then the third one is going to be the complete opposite corner on the horizontal. So this one over here. This is a game now. Where do you think the fourth one's going to be? It's like whack-a-mole. Okay. Fourth one's going to be over on this side here, the other corner. There we go. Look, this is called speed screwing. And then we've got 2 in the middle, which they want me to put the bottom one in first. Just like so. And then last but not least, God, I love how they give us 1 spare screw each time. Don't know what I'm going to do with all of those spares at the end of this build. But there you go. I'll put that spare screw to one side. That is that part complete. How cool does that look? I do like it. Okay, so we've done that. That's that stage complete. What we're going to be doing now is we're going to be putting the tail fins on. Now the tail fins look just like that in this pack here. So let's get these open. This looks like a nice simple stage, but again we're going to be bound to the left and the right parts of these things. So we need to make sure these bits that I'm just taking out now are directional. So this one, don't know if you can see that in there, has got an R on it. And then this one should have, yeah, it's got an L on it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just slot the tail wing side block into the slot in the left tail wing. So the one it wants us to use is this one here. And it's going to be going into the slot just this way round into there, just like so. There you go. It doesn't say, it should say sit comfortably. It hasn't told me to glue it or anything, and that ain't coming out, just so you know. We're going to be doing, once we've done that, we've got I think this is what's going to hold it in here, because we're going to be gluing that in. Now, if this is the left one, we need to make sure we've got the left, and that's going to be going just onto here, just like that, and that's going to be glued in. So it's facing forward the front sort of thing. So let's get that glued in now. Bit of glue, probably the best place to put the glue. I'm going to put it just on the edge, well, all around this bit here, I think actually is probably best. Because I want some sort of contact with this thing here. It doesn't have a lot, to be honest with you. But you know it's in right because it says it's going to fit flush to the back there. It's going to look just like that. So that's the first one in. We're going to repeat that for the same other side now. So we put that bit in just like that. Bit of glue just on top. That was a nice easy stage, isn't it? Bit under there as well. Excellent. And then once again, we'll put this in. Just like that. And there we go. We have got the completed tail fin, which looks just like that. That looks excellent. Does it want me to put this on the vehicle? No, it's just teasing us. It says keep that like that, but you ain't doing anything with it yet. So I get to put that to one side because the next stage we're going to be doing is some electrics, which means we need the pack of electrics here. Now, the test board that we've got in the vehicle at the moment is what it is. It's just a test board. This is the main board, which is going to do all the sounds, everything. It's going to have, you see, you've got chips on there and everything. It's going to basically control absolutely everything. So the first thing we need to do is bring up, I'm going to put that to one side, is bring up the unit we had in the past. Now, I had already put the top of this on, but I've got the LED cable coming out already from the side. So the first stage it wants us to do is to plug in this extension lead to the LED cable. Now this has got 2 sides. You've got one side like that and one which is like, it works like a USB extension lead, I suppose. This is the side we're going to plug into the yellow bit that we've got just at the back here. I'm sure one of the cameras can pick that up. So we'll plug that in. Make sure you're putting the pins around the right way, because if you don't, you're going to have a bad time. There we go. And that's that bit in just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this to the test board just to make sure that the light is working there. So I'm going to plug this into this point here. I've got my test board here, because what I don't want to do is put all of this together and then realise the interior light isn't working. Let's just turn that around for you there. So theoretically, when I turn this on, yep, the light still comes on and off. So we know that's working and that wire is connected perfectly. I always check electrics as I go along, because they do freak me out a little bit if they don't work. Okay, once we've done that, that's all the way up to step 5. We're going to be changing this board round at the back, which means we're going to be unplugging everything here. Now, what we've got to remember is this is the down limiter and this is the up limiter on this side. So down's this side, up's this side, because when we take this off and put the other board in, we've got to reconnect those things back up again. So we'll unplug all of these cables. This is the first one. This is the motor, up, power, and switch on that side, and on that side's the down. Take these out. This is going to take us all the way up to section 13 where we screw in the new board. So I'm just taking, you want to keep these screws as well. Taking the old test board out and 3. Oops. Okay, that's the old test board. That has now been removed. So I'm going to keep that over there. We're going to be putting the new test board in. Now, the way the new test board goes is you've got a big capacitor here and you've got the circuit board. The circuit board's going to go towards the bulkhead. And as you can see, this has got 3 holes in it anyway. So you're just going to replace this exactly with the one that you just had, lining up those 3 holes you had before as well. So once they're lined up just like that, we'll get this screw back down. First screw in. There we go. I'm not tightening them up all completely yet. I'm just putting them in just so I can line this up. This is the second one. Now I can screw them in. And the third one. Now the good thing about these circuit boards for this model is that it does tell you on the circuit board where everything goes. So what we've got, we know this one is the upper limit one. So we're going to plug this into the upper limit one just like that. Boom. Well, we know this one here, because it's connected to the switch, is the switch. So we're going to plug that into the switch one. Make sure it's the right way. We know this one comes from the power pack. So this is going to be the power that goes in that one just like that. Let me just show you on that camera there. I'll probably take a picture of this afterwards, actually, so you can see. Well, there's going to be a picture on the screen. Okay, we know that this one here is the LED. So the LED one is going to be going into illumination. So this one here is the motor. So we can put that one in. Just like that. This one here, as I said, is the LED. And the LED is going to be going into... Oh, let's put the upper limiter in, I think, first. Sorry, the lower limiter. That goes into there. This is the lights at the back here. So the lights at the back, I need to check that myself actually. Let's have a look. Make sure the left booster LED cable into the next socket along goes into the socket on the capacitor side. So that's the tail lights here. Sorry, this tail light here is going to go into this point just here. And then the right tail light will be going into this socket just here. And then last but not least, oops, that's not the right tail socket. That's let's take that out. That is the speaker that goes into there, because the right tail light is a shorter lead, remember. If you remember from the last issue we had. This is going to be a tight one, but it will fit. I'm trying not to touch the board while I do this. The last one's just a little bit fiddly. There we go. Now the only other thing we've got is the headlights. Now I've posted the headlights out from the right hand side here. That will be able to wrap around. I don't know if that was meant to go from the right hand side or down the left hand side. I'm just looking at the instructions here. I think the headlights should have gone round this side here. But I put it on this side. It's not going to be a big issue because the wires are going to be held in place anyway. I suppose it's entirely up to you because we are going to have a shield going over here, you see. So, but that is all the wires in. You might want to do a bit of wire tidy for that. As a matter of fact, those that front lightage there, I'm going to put it underneath these wires here, I think. So that way, for repair reasons as well, if I ever need to get to these wires, I only have to open one side of the vehicle. That's another thinking about doing that. I'm just seeing what else it wants us to do. That's it for now. We've wired in the plug. I'm just going to show you that on one of the side cameras here. Look, that's all the wires I've got in there. What do you think of that? Now, I suppose it's entirely up to you how you wire that up yourself if you want to make that change. But I'm just thinking about repair options and if I do need to do something in future. So, okay, next pack. This is stage 78. We're going to be doing the wings and the mobile crane. So, get this out. Oh, we got loads of sprues and stuff here as well. So we've got 2 wings. We need the fixing joints, which are these things here. and a red and blue wing lights. That's all we need. The rest is for the mobile crane. So what we need to do is, it says, note the L and R markings on the inner edge of the two wings. Yep, as you can see, this one's got an R, and I believe that means this one, there you go, has got an L. It says fit the red wingtip light to the front tip of the left wing. So we're going to put the red light on here. It says we don't glue these. So we'll have to see. So the red wingtip here slots on just like that. It does fit on quite good actually. So that's there. It says we haven't got to glue that. Okay, next one, we're going to put the blue one on this side here. And I said they can only go on one way. So oops, I say that and then I can't get the things on. Come on, you. Hang on a second. Try that again. There we go. And then that's the blue one on as well. So we've got a red side and a blue side. And that's it. That's that stage done. We don't have to glue that part together. Now what we're going to do, we'll put that to one side because we're going to be bringing up the main body of the ship again because we're going to be putting some clips in. Now, these clips... It says, note the shape of the two fixing joints. I'm going to have a look at that. They look exactly the same to me. Yep, they look like a love heart on top. And at the bottom, it's just sort of like that. Like an hourglass figure, I suppose. It says, at the bottom, you'll see a T-shaped pin. Yep, they're absolutely right. At the bottom of it, we have got a T-shaped pin there. It says, fit the first joint to this slot on the left-hand side of the model. Match the T-shaped pin with its recess. So in here... what camera can I show you this on? Probably the side camera here. You see you've got a T-shaped pin just there. That's where the first one's going to go. Does it need to be glued? It says press the part in place. I'm going to put it in part. If it does need glue, I will put glue in now. But it seems to be quite tight. So I don't think I'm going to need glue. But we'll put it in and see what happens. Yeah, that's not going to need glue. That's got in really, really tight. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Turning that round, and we'll get this in here, making sure that the T's the right way around. I think these are in to create an anchor point for the bit that we're going to be putting on top, you see, eventually. But that's that one in as well. So we've got the two anchor points in there, and the joints are ready to go. We haven't got to do anything else with that stage. So once again, I can put that on the floor, and we'll come back to that afterwards. Now we're going to be building the mobile crane. So we have got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bits here that need to be coming off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these sprues off. We've got a little axle there, some bodywork, loads of wheels and stuff, making sure there's nothing on there. And then after I've done this, I'm going to have a quick look around to see if I can find that headlight because, you know, I'm sitting here doing this and it's bothering me. So we'll get all these sprues off and we'll come back once these wheels are on. Okay, before we cut away, you see I've taken these all off the sprues again now. And what we're going to have to do is these little wheel things here on the other side of this, we're going to be placing these little black things here. It says glue a wheel inner to the wheel outer like this. Now, when you put these in, it says glue them, but you know what? That ain't coming out. So I think I'm just going to do this on camera and put all of these in. Unless they're loose, I will then I will obviously glue this in place. God, I can't even keep these. They're very fiddly, aren't they? So let's go and put all of these in now. This is number 2. And I think you'll see when you start putting these in how tight they are. That's 2. That's what it's going to look like. So then for the other side, it looks like that. Number 3 is going in here. Ugh, oh, it's tough. They are so tight. Why would they want us to glue these if they're so tight? That's interesting. All right, okay. This is number 4. They're a struggle. At least I've done this on camera and there's no more a few moments later. That's number 5. And last but not least, number 6. Okay. Quite detailed wheels these are. These are going to be the most detailed we've had of any of the vehicles we've done, to be honest with you. This is so hard to get in. They're so tight. Excellent. That's the last one in. God, that was a hard one. Okay, so that's all 6 of those done. And now what we're going to be doing is putting these into the wheels. Now, these do get glued in. So these are going to be glued in just onto that inner base there, just like this, into there. So let's dab some glue in there. See how this is going to look. I'll do one. see how it looks, and then we'll cut away once they're all done. But that's going to look just like that. Let's do the rest of them. There we go, that's 6 wheels done. Now what we do is we buddy these wheels up with another one, and we're going to push this onto one of the axles, just like this. Obviously, you've just glued these things in place, so be careful when you're pushing them down. And once we've done that, we're going to be repeating that with all the other ones. So we've got a load on each side. That's the second one done. And last but not least, we do the third one. This is exactly like we did for making all the other vehicles. There we go, just like that. And then we're going to be threading these through the vehicles for all of these little axle points here. So that's the first one through, and then putting an end on doing exactly what we just did. So we'll get this, it's going to be that one first. Nope, other way around. That one first, and then put one of these on top. There we go, that's the first one in. Same again. That one first. We put this that way round. And then we'll be able to put one of them in. That's the second one in. And last but not least, that one in there. This one on like that. This one on top. Push it down. Make sure they're all in place. And there you go. That is all of those wheels in place. That takes us all the way up to stage 13. Now step 14, we've got these two bits here. We've got like a little pattern, black and yellow pattern, and we've got this bit here. Now it's telling us what the top is. Now this slants down. If you can have a look at that, it slants down at the side. So the side that's holding by my thumb at the moment is the top side. And it's the same with this as well. So the side at the top there is the top side of the vehicle. So what we want to do is we're going to glue the bumper to the vehicle to make sure it is the right way up. Now the bumper is the red section here, this bit here. And that's going to be going on just this massive bit just there. As you see, two big old holes there. So what we'll do is we'll get some glue in there. 1, 2. Put this in. Again, making sure it is the right way up, which it is. And then that is in. Clicks into place just like that. And then the next part is this bit here as well. I'm just making sure it's the right way as well. And this is going to basically just fit on top. Let's have a look where this goes. Oh no, it fits just on top of the bumper we just put in there. So I'm going to dab some glue just on those holes there and there. And then again, we're going to put the front of the bumper in those two holes. There we go, and that's the warning bar. And as you can see, there's a tiny little gap between that. That doesn't go all the way in there. But that is the warning bar done. And that is the bottom of the mobile crane completed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it there for a second and see if I can find that headlight. Okay, I'm glad I did that because when I've cut away, I found, look at the camera there. I found the headlights. It was on the carpet. But you know what? You already knew that because when I showed you the picture earlier on, both the headlights were there. But they weren't here when I did the mobile crane. Oh, you figured it out. I did find them. They're on the carpet, and thank God I record all of these videos because I had to look back and see where it pinged off in what direction, and I found it straight away after that, so that's good. Another thing to mention is I've now taken the front off because we need to do that for the next stage. Someone did advise me at the start to put this light thing on the other side, which I did, and it looked okay, but now I've had to change it back. And the reason I've had to change it back is because you are meant to have one wire running down one side and one wire down the other side. And the reason why the illumination has to go on this side is because the plug in the circuit board for illumination is on this side. If you were to have two wires in, you wouldn't be able to put the case on that. And secondly, you wouldn't be able to, this wire would be too short. You'd have the plug on it sitting just in the little plastic bit there. And again, it means we won't be able to put the top down at all on that. So we can't do that. I'm just going to find a home for that top for a second. So that's why I've changed that around in post-production. But the first thing it wants us to do, we are working on this side here. So I'm going to just turn this around so it's easier for me to look at. But I have got the wire plugged into the illumination there. And we're going to be putting one of the brackets on. So let's open all these brackets up here. We're going to need side frame R, side frame L, and it comes with 3 screws. Now, another thing it suggests, this is really popping now, I'll tell you. Oh, look, we've got bits for the vehicle in as well. Just seeing where these screws are. Yep, the screws are in this bottom bit here, so I need to get them out. This is sort of like a double-layered thing here, which is interesting, but I don't want to go losing anything else, because look, there's some more headlights in there. We don't want to be losing that. Okay, so I'm just going to get these screws out here. We'll cut them open because we're going to be securing these down. So there we go. There you go. I'm holding them in the way of the picture. Basically, this one's going to be side frame R. This one's going to be side frame L. So theoretically, this one is the one that's going to be fitting on this side of the vehicle just over here. We're going to be securing these in place. Now, basically, the one we're working on here is going to be on this side of the top frame here. So what's going to happen is this is going to be going in here and it's secured onto this section just with a lug there. So once I've got this in, let's just put this in the way it goes, just like that. Whoops, it just slipped out there. We're going to be putting a screw hole just in there, just like that. So let's load my screwdriver up. And as you can see, I've got so many things on the go at the moment that it is getting a little bit fiddly, I have to say. But we'll get this in exactly as it goes. Just like that. You know you've got it in smooth, because as you can see, once I've put this lug in, just like this, it's going to sit perfectly flush in there, just like that. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to be basically doing exactly the same to the other side. So let's get the other side here. And we're going to do, I don't think we're going to need this pet the vehicle yet, so because we're not putting everything together. I'm just going to put that on the floor because we're going to be attaching the other side now. Exactly the same thing's going to happen. This is basically just going to slip in like this and over the lug hole that's inside there, just like that, nice and tight. And then we'll screw this in. This is basically this takes us up to part 11. So screwing this nice and tight down. There you go. And then what this is going to do, it's going to give us a really good channel when we do these wires for these to go actually into there like that. Okay, but that's what we've got. It's really coming together, isn't it? So pretty cool. Oh, something else you need to make sure of. If you have a look here, I haven't actually clipped that in properly. So let me just take that out and make sure that that is clipped in to exactly where it goes, because we don't want that to be wrong. There we go. So that's that side in. That's how it's supposed to look on the outside. Let me do the same to the other side, because the other side's got that problem. So it is careful. You have to be careful about where you're actually putting that. There we go. And that's that one in as well. Because we really need to make sure these are in place when we drop this over, and that's how that's going to look. You can see that on one camera for the top pieces there. Okay, what we can do now is we can put that bit on the floor as well. Got loads of screws here, and because we're going to be bringing over the mobile crane parts that we've got here, and there's loads of them. This time, when I tip them out, I'm going to look carefully to make sure there's nothing in there, because we've got some really detailed bits here. So we'll get these out as well. And I do notice we do have a pack of little tiny headlights as well. So let's get this pack open as well. It's certainly, to say this is all coming together as a final thing, there's certainly a lot to do in this. Okay, it says the hydraulic bar would adhere to these holes on the crane arm B. So basically we've got these crane arm A, which looks like that one there, and crane arm B looks like this one here. That's the difference. The top one is A, the bottom one is B. We're going to have crane arm B. It says the hydraulic bar, which is, God, what's the hydraulic bar? That's this thing here. God, there's so many small things. That's this thing here. It's going to basically be going on top of this. I'm just trying to figure out which way round it goes. It's going to be going onto these bits just here into the two pinholes there and there. So let's get some glue just in these holes here and we'll get that in. 1, 2. I'm glad my glue's still going, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll get that one in now. Just seeing if they actually fit into the holes. You'd think they would. So I'm just pushing them in. Yeah, I got one in. Push the second one in. This is probably going to be a little bit more tricky. There you go, and that's the second one in. So there we go. We keep it level, and that's the first bar in. It says, now slot the tip of the crane arm A into the hinge of crane arm A. Do not glue these parts. So basically the tip of this one here is going into the hinge of this section here, which basically means it's going to be going into, this is the part that it wants to put in. It wants to put this part in. I'm just showing what way round it's going to be facing. It's going to be facing with this section down like that. So when we put this in, like that, it's going to be facing down. Okay, now to keep these bits together, we're going to need to put a little bit of a pin in there. Now we've got this little pack here with all the pins in. Now, if you remember when we did the doors for the pods, how they had to be in all the way, the pins, there's no difference here. These are going to have to be in all the way. So what I'm going to do is use my tweezers to pick the little tiny pin up here. You see that little tiny pin? And we're going to be putting it into this hole that we've just found here. Now the way round it goes, you've got one end here which is rough, one end is smooth. You put it in the smooth side first, okay, which means it's going to be going in this way. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to, I'm going to have to turn my little tweezers round and then we'll feed that in. Hopefully it will go in all the way straight away, but I'm never that lucky, so let's try that again. That looks good. And there we go, and that pin has gone in, but the thing is, there we go, and that's, I can't believe how quick that went in. There we go, the pin is in perfectly, no problems at all. It says use tweezers to fit the hinge pin into the hole, join in the arms, press the pin into place with the back of the tweezers again, do not glue these parts. That pin's not coming out either, that's sitting in absolutely lovely. Next bit, we're going to be putting something just on the end of this crane here. It says now gluing the platform base. The platform base is this piece here, and the way this is going to be going, I'm just checking, is going to be going on into the pinholes just like this. It can only go on one way because obviously you've got two holes there and you've got two pinholes here. So what I'll do is I'll dab some glue just to the bottom of this unit here and we'll put the pin base on there. I think it's nice as well that in the last issue we are building one more support vehicle. So make sure that's perfectly straight, which it is, and that's the base on there. Then we've got a handrail that's going to go round the base. This is the handrail here. The way round it goes is obviously with the open end out towards the front. So this is going to be going on just like that there. I think what I'm going to do is just dab some glue just on those pinholes here, but not a lot. I'm talking tiny amounts. So very, very tiny amounts. Okay, so we get this little handrail on. And there we go. That's all of the handrail in, so it's nice and level all the way around. Oh no, one side's still up on this, so let's just pin that bit in as well. There we go. Now that's all level, and as you can see it goes up and down, so we've got a little mobile crane bit just going on just like that. That was quite a tricky bit, I have to say. We can put that to one side because the next bit we need is let's have a look. It's going to be this bit just like this with the little hole on the top. We're going to be putting a little front on there. Now the front that we're going to be putting on looks just like this part here, which is sort of like I don't know, it's what do they call this? Photo shows it now glue the intake to the intake base. So this is an intake, and that's just going to go into those two holes just at the front there. So let's get those in there. A bit of glue just on this section. 1, 2, not a lot. And again, you want it to face the right direction, so obviously the pins are gonna dictate what direction you're putting this in. But once this is in, I'll show you what that looks like. That looks just like that. There you go. Then we're going to be gluing the pivot B to pivot A. Now these are the really fine bits. So you've got pivot B, which is this part here. Looks just like that. Oh no, this is pivot A. Pivot B is the bigger one. So this is going to be going into this slot just in the middle there. So when this is in, it's going to look just like, oh God, it's probably best to glue it actually, and then I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Make sure this is on the right way, so I'll put enough glue in there. The base of it is going to be basically, oh, let's have a look. Just having a look how they've got it in the picture here. Yeah, they've got it the right way round. So this is going to be attached to the back end of that. As you can see, it's got like a little L shape at the bottom there. This bit's going to be coming in from that side there. So let's glue this bit in. And that's going to go in just like that. That's fit quite easily, that one, I have to say. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to be putting that down gently, give that time to dry, because we're going to be bringing over the main unit again, because we're going to be adding some bits. Now, the first bit we're going to be adding is just this front section here. This is the front unit, and that's just going to go on these two holes here, so we can put some glue into those holes there. I apologise for the state of my desk at the moment. I seem to have everything everywhere at the moment. I will try and tidy up as I go along, but by the look of it, we need all of these bits. So, okay, so we get these bits in just like this. Making sure I put this in the right way, obviously. Hang on a second. It's going to go in, yeah, definitely the right way. Let's get these in the holes. Again, I don't know if we needed glue for this bit because that clipped in really hard there. But that's the front unit done. Now the crane mount, which is this bit just here, is going to be sitting just on the back section. Or where have they put this? Just on this section here. And as you can see, you've got two little slide holes for this to go into. This is going to be, you've got one longer lip, which is going to sit over the side there. So when this goes in, I'll put this in just dryly so you can see. It's going to have no gap at the bottom there or the side. So again, we'll put some glue in those bits there. 1, 2. Not a lot of glue again. Again, make sure we put it in the right way. There we go. And that's the base mount done. Now the cockpit is going to be sitting at the forward facing bit of the vehicle here. This is the cockpit here. Obviously you want it in the way that it's got to go, which is that way round. Okay, just so you know. So what we're going to do is we'll put some glue just in those two little, it's only held in by little 2 pinholes. So we'll put that bit in there. Oh, I say 2 pinholes. Sorry, the cockpit goes on this side. Look, I'm putting the glue in the wrong bit. The cockpit's going on this side, obviously facing forward. So it goes in there just like that. So we'll put some glue just on these 4 pinholes. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's getting late in the build now. That's the problem. We're up to pack 12. I'm exhausted. Okay, there we go. And that's the cockpit in. Now, the bit in the middle here, that's going to be the crane base clip will be placed in here. Now, the crane base clip is this little tiny bit here. This can only go in one way because this is, oh, let me show you. It's a shaped piece and it's going to match the shaped indent just in there like that. So what I'll do is I'll drop some glue in there, just like that. And then we'll put this in so it's in the right way, which will be going in this way. Whoops. And it slips out my hand. There we go. So it's going to go in this way here. And that pushes down absolutely perfectly. Once that's in, we're going to be putting the back area on. Now, the back area is the bit that I've just put glue on, I think. Let's have a look. The back area, no, it's going to be going on this section just here. You've got one big hole here, and that's going to be going on just like... oh, what way round does it go? Let's have a look. It goes on... this way, following the same as the cockpit. So when this is on, it's going to go over the lip as well. Dryly, it's going to fit just like that. So let's get some glue in there. Just in that one hole there. This is probably one of the bigger support vehicles that we've done, I think, definitely. Making sure, there we go, that clipped in. That was quite a hard one to put in there, but there you go, that's that bit in there as well. Okay, right, at the back here, we're going to be putting in this aerial bit, and that bit that I already put glue, it's a good job because this is where the crane bit's going to go. So I'm going to put some glue just in there as well. And then what happens is, the bit we've done here will go into that bit there, and then these bits are going to go into the bits that I just glued right there and there. I'm just holding them in place. Yep, that's perfect. So that looks just like that. That looks really good. Okay, that was step 15. Now step 16, we're actually going to be putting the crane in, which is going to be good. So the way the crane goes in, we've got, it's going to be fitting into the crane base. I'm just seeing which way round it goes. It's going to be going this way round, with this little part here is going to be fitting into the crane base. So it says, now clip the crane into the crane base itself. How do we do that? So on the end, oh, this is going to be a tough one. We've got this little bit here, which is going to go into that little bit there. God, how are we going to get this in here? Let's have a look. I'm going to put it in. And it's, oh, that clipped in good. Clipped in good. There we go. We got that in. So that's that in the base there. And it says, now pin the top of the pivots and locate the hole. So this bit here, the bottom bit's going to be glued into the top of the frame there. There's a little tiny hole for it to go in. This is going to be tricky. So what I'll do is I'll put, this is step 17, as you can see in the picture. I'm going to put a little dab of glue just on that hole there. A little dab. There we go. Then we're going to push this back. And hopefully we'll be able to get this in that hole. No problems at all. I think that has just gone in perfectly. Just look in, make sure it's straight. That's gone in absolutely perfectly. So there we go. And look, that crane lifts this into this position. Does this move? That doesn't move though. So that's actually locked that in position. It says the pin at the top of the pivots will locate and hold the crane's upper length, glue these parts. So this can only really go a certain distance by the look of it. Because this bit doesn't want to lift up. Now you've attached that in there. I don't know if that was right or not. I think it's just for show actually, to make it look like how it looks. But once we've done that, now these tool bits, we're going to be putting the headlights on, which go into these two holes here. Thank God I've got both of the headlights for this one. I don't want to be go scurrying around the carpet trying to find them. So we put the first headlight on. I should really be trying to use tweezers for this, but they're going on okay. So that's the first one in. Put the second one in. If you can see my hands at the moment, they're caked in glue. But that's the two headlights on. Okay, now we've got some little other headlights and some details which are on these sprues here. So let's get these off without breaking them. This one I'm probably going to need to cut off. This looks a really delicate one actually. So I'm going to just cut this off from the sprue like that. There we go. And there's that bit there. Oh, I've got a little burr. Let's get that burr off. Excellent. So that's that off. I might as well get these off this sprue as well while we're at it. 1 and 2. Okay, so next stage we're going to be putting on is the light mount will sit in this hole. So we've got a light mount, which is this one here. It's going to be sitting in the hole just at the top there, and it's going to be facing backwards on the vehicle with the hole upwards. So it's going to be facing this way. Whoops, get this in the hole, and then I can show you how it's going to look. Just like this on the back there. It's actually points slightly off centre there because obviously the square that's in that side there can only tells you what direction it's going to go in. So we'll put that just a little bit of glue in there, and we'll get that bit in again. And then we're going to be putting the light on the top of it, but the light is going to face forward. So I'll put a little bit of glue just on this arrow section here, like that, and then we'll get this put in. Making sure it's facing forward. There we go. So that looks just like that. That's that little light section in. Check that the angle of the searchlight's mount are correct. So the angle's pointing off in that direction. It's just showing, and the light is facing forward. That is absolutely correct there. What's making that turn like that? Oh, nothing. That's just the way it's meant to be. So we're almost finished. All we've got to do now is put these bits in. Now these go in. Oh God. Actually, we should have put these bits in stage 14. So let's do that now. They've both got International Rescue on the side there. Look, and we're going to be putting one in each side. So we'll have one going in here. Making sure they go in okay before I glue these down. As a matter of fact, they go in so tight, I'm not going to glue them down. So we put the first one in. This was stages 14 and 15. It really is getting late in this build, isn't it? For me to be missing bits out. Let's put this one in as well. Okay, and that's almost done. Come on, get in there. There we go. And that's the other side done. And then the last thing we've got to do is just put the aerial on. Now the aerial is just going into this hole just next to the searchlight there. Now what I normally do for this, if you've seen me in the past, I just put a bit of glue in here. Then I drop the aerial in the glue just at the base there. Then I put this in the top. And that's normally enough glue just to hold it in place there. So that's the aerial. So we have got another completed vehicle. That is the mini crane. What do you think of that? Lovely vehicle. Let's show you some pictures of that. Absolutely lovely. And that would be, I'm guessing, the last support vehicle. Just have a look. That is the last support vehicle. Oh my God, it's getting really sad now. Okay, right. Now, this is where we're going to be completing Thunderbird 2. This is stage 80, completing Thunderbird 2. That's what it's called. So, what we're going to do, we're going to bring up the... what bit does it want us to bring up? It wants us to bring up this front bit that we've been working from here, because we're going to be attaching the base to it. Now, if you notice inside this, when I open this... Hang on a second. Oh, this is the last pack I'm opening as well. Oh my God, last of everything. I do get emotional at the end of these builds, I have to say. We've got the remote control in here for the vehicle. So I'm just going to put the remote control and all the parts for that to one side. Because obviously I'm going to be demonstrating this for you. Okay, so stage 1, we're going to be joining the rear body panels to the back of the frames via the arrowed posts. So these, you've got 2 posts in here. They're just going to be slotting in just like this. And this, if I turn it upside down, they're going to be secured by the bottom. We've got 2 screw holes here. So I'm going to open the pack of screws. I'm just seeing which ones they are, because they've sent us hundreds of them. You've got large screws, medium screws, and small screws. and secure the post with 2 of the large screws. Right, so the large screws are the ones that we've got hundreds of in a pack. So they're the ones we're going to be using. So let's get the large screws out. I don't want to get these confused because I've got screws everywhere at the moment. So we're going to secure these into place by these 2 holes here. So we put one in here. Oh, I'm going to hold it in my hand. That's better. So that's that side in. And then one in the other side here. Just like that. Excellent. And then the rear panel is now complete. So if we turn that over, as you can see, nice and smooth, that's the whole top of the ship completed. Now what we've got to do is reconnect the cockpit LED cable to the extension cable. So what it wants us to do now is put this, well, the top's already back on, it wants us to mar the top with the bottom, which isn't on at the moment. But the problem this is going to be, and this is why this is going to be hard, I'm going to move this to one side, is first of all, I've had to put this spring back in, so we've got to line that up. I've got these already lined up. I need to line the motor one up as well, because obviously we don't want this pinching when I put the vehicle down. So let's put this one in as well. And I said, if I do need some extra support for this, I think that's going to be okay, actually. Just going to wind that under as well. I don't want that to get caught up with anything. I think that looks pretty cool. There's nothing that's going to pinch there. This one here needs to go in there. Right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting the top back on the vehicle, which means we're going to be connecting this little cable up here again to the lights. Now, I'm going to probably be quiet while I'm doing this because this is a really fiddly bit now. That's all connected back up. Okay, so it wants me to put masking tape on there. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start screwing, I think. I'm just going to make sure this is all back in again. Matter of fact, let's just lift that back off again. What I am going to do, I am going to get my masking tape out, I think, because this is going to make life a lot easier for me in the long run to get this connected. So, what we're going to do, we're going to just break off some bits of masking tape because I want to keep these wires really tidy on this side. So, just like it suggested, I'm going to put some masking tape to keep them in place of where they need to be. So, I'll put a little bit there. If in doubt, it's probably best to always do what they suggest. A little bit there. Because this is going to make this a lot better when I actually put the thing down. A little bit there. That keeps all of that in place. Making sure that this now comes behind the unit there. So I'm going to put a little bit just over these bits here. Excellent. And then we're going to do the same on the other side here. I'm just going to disconnect that while I do that. So, again, I'm going to put a little bit, let's lean that forward just a touch like that. There you go, a little bit around there. Because what I don't want to happen is when I put this down to pinch a wire, break a wire, and then, yeah, we're going to have a bad time. So that's that bit in. Okay, and that comes in perfectly just out of that side there. That looks good. I'm just making sure none of these holes here are going to be in the way. They look good. That's all wired up good. I'm not happy with the wires around here at the moment. Because again, one of these wires could get pinched. So I'm just putting that underneath. Just like that. I think that is now good. That is perfect. So we are now ready to lower this on. So what we can do is I'm going to put this just gently on top because I need to just plug in the light wire again. Let's do that now. That's the illumination back in. Putting that around the circuitry there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape just on there again, just to keep that where I want it. So I'll put a little bit around there. You can never have too much masking tape. And then I think I'm just going to put this just in here like that, just to keep that out of the way of everything. That looks good. Right. Now, we put this on top, making sure that this spring has been fed properly. And then push it down. Oh, that's gone in absolutely perfectly. Now it wants us just to put some masking tape just around some certain bits of this vehicle, because we're going to be turning it upside down to screw this in. So what I'll do is I'll put some just, I'm not going to put too much on there. Perhaps a bit just on this side here. We'll turn it round. Keep that up there. And we'll do the same on the other side here. A little bit there. A little bit there. And last but not least, just a little bit here. And perhaps one more just at the front of the vehicle here, just to keep that in place. Right, we're going to be turning this upside down, and we're going to be putting, it says put it on a towel. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get on with it because that's how I roll. We're going to be putting all the screws in. Now we've got to work our way around all of these screw holes, screwing this thing together. I think the first thing I'm going to do is screw these back sections of the front piece together, because I think that's the bit that's under the most pressure at the moment because of the spring that's inside. So I'll put that one in first. That's gone in nice and tight, and I'm going to do the same on the other side here. That goes in just like that. Then I think I'm going to do the front of the vehicle, the very front one. Make sure that's nice and tight as well. Excellent. We're going to do the very front one. And that will be the nose piece in place. Nice and tight. I'll do the other four in a second. I'm going to go right to the back now and do these back ones. There's a lot of screws to put in. So that one's in. Then we go do the other side. I'm going to miss out the two middle ones by the battery box for a minute, because I'm going to put the middle ones inside next. God, my hand's getting tired. Okay, that's that one in. Right, we're going to put these two middle ones in. That's one. And one the other side here. The two on this side here now. Which means after this other one's gone in over here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to put in. So we'll do this one over here. Excellent. Right, we've got the 4 at the front. Let's put them in. 1. I'm having to stand up for this now. Excellent. 2. Tell you what, if you're even thinking about taking this thing apart, it's going to take forever. I can't feel my hand. Oh, that one didn't go in. I'll have a look at that one in a second. Let's do this one here. 3. I think it's probably best I cut away now and we come back to it. Okay, there we go. That's all of them in. So what we're going to do is turn that back over and we can get rid of all of this masking tape I put on now, because that is now all held together absolutely perfectly. No seams. What do you think of that? It's looking good, isn't it? What camera are we looking at? What camera's the best one? Probably the side camera for the minute. Okay, that's all the bits off. Right, next thing. It says tighten each screw fully, then place your model back the right way up. We've just done that. Okay, so next thing we're going to be doing, we're turning the ship around just like that. We're going to be putting the wing in with the blue light. That's going to be going in just this point here. Do we have to glue this? It says take the assembled wing and glue it into the right hand slot. So this is going to be going in just like that. I'm not gluing it at the moment because that just clicked in and that's not coming out. But I'll probably glue it later on. Let's do the same with the other side. This is basically the left hand piece. And the left hand piece goes the other way round with the number down. So obviously the wings are going to be facing the same way, but the number needs to be down so people from the ground know what it is. There you go, and that's the other wing in just like that. That was step 14 and 15 done. God, that's looking so good. That's looking so good. Okay, then we're going to be putting the tail fin on. Again, this needs to be glued. I'm just going to see how this sits in. This really sits in tough as well, so I'm not going to glue this bit either, but you can glue yours if you want to. That's the tail piece in. And that is the completed model. Let's go get a pod up. I've got pod 4 here. Let's put pod 4 in there for now. Just so we can see what the finished thing's going to look like. Just like that. I love it. Absolutely love it. And there we go. That is the finished Thunderbird vehicle. Now what I need to do is when we do the motor up and down, it's obviously going to hold that pod. Well, the pod's sort of held in place now anyway, but that is that's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Okay, let's put the last bit together, which is just the remote control. Speechless again. That's the ship done. We've got the last bit to do before I bring everything to a fruition, culmination, finalization. We'll see what it does. And that's basically all we're going to do is we're just going to set up the remote control. I've already put batteries in the remote control, but what it wants me to do first is this little green section here. It's just going to slot just into that bit just there, like that. Sorry, to this side, sorry, because I was going to say nothing's holding that in there. So that goes in just like that. That's step 18. The top and bottoms, it tells you that there's a difference between it. You've got a larger bit at the top than the bottom. So the top bit was the way I had it in there, just like that. So it's going to sit just like that in there. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the light in to the top of the remote control. Now this light has got a little screw hole here, as you can see, just in there like that. So I'm going to put that in. There we go, just like that there. Oops. Making sure that it fits perfectly in there, which at the moment I'm having trouble getting the thing in. There we go. Once that's in, it will sit flush. That's perfect. What holds the light in? Let's have a look. I'm guessing a screw. Yep, we're going to screw this in with a small screw. In the pack that come with that, we've got some medium and 2 small screws there. So that's one of these small screws that we're going to use. We'll get that screwed in. Oop. It has popped out a little bit there, so when I lift it up, it's going to push it back down, I'm sure. There we go. Make sure that's flush. Yep, so we've got the light in there now. I've just noticed one of my cameras is slightly dark. Let me just up the contrast of that, because I want you to see everything. That's better. Everything that I'm doing here. So there we go. That's that in perfectly. Once that's done, we're going to be dropping the buttons in. Now, if we're holding it this way round, the A and the B buttons are going into the top 2, like that. And the C and D buttons are going to be going on the bottom 2. So if I hold that in place, they will be the right way round, looking just like that. Okay. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to be marring the top, or meeting the top with the bottom. So these are going to go in just like this. There we go. And then all we got to do is put some screws in there. And the screws that it wants us to use... Oh, what's happened there? No, that's okay. The screws it wants us to use are the... let's have a look. The medium screws, these ones here, and they gave us 3, but we only need 2 of them. So we'll get the first one in there now. Looking good. Okay, nice and tight. Put one more in the other side here, and that is the remote control done. So there's no switches this time, but we can't continue without seeing if the remote control works. So once these are all completely tightened down, I don't need those 2 spare screws. We've got the working remote here. When we press a button, you see it lights up. Obviously, it's not going to do anything yet until I get the vehicle over. So, this is the moment you've been waiting for. I'm going to turn this mat round to add sort of like a space theme to it. We'll bring up the unit, the finished Thunderbird here. And what I'll do is if I have it, let's have it that way round. That way you can see the lights at the front. And I'm going to turn the power on with the switch at the back here. That power is now on. So this is live and ready to go. Okay, well now's the moment you've been waiting for. We got the remote. It's on. So let's test it. So theoretically, if I press B, the cockpit light should come on. Yes! So B works. Okay. Right. I will be doing a full showcase for this later on with all the support vehicles and all that. That'll be in another video. I'm just showing you what it looks like at the moment. And as you can see, I'm so excited by this. This is crazy. Okay, the rear boosters. If I press A, we should get a sound effects and the boosters light up. Press it again and that turns it off. That's amazing. That's excellent. Okay, and last but not least, as you see, I haven't got a pod in there. So let's raise this beast up by pressing C, I think it is, that raises it. And get a pod under there. As you can see, when it goes up, it leaves the pod down below. So pretty good. It does line the pod up itself as well, which is really good. But that, almost, when it's met, is done. Okay, so last but not least, let's see what it looks like when we lower this onto the pod. Just making sure everything's lined up here. It's looking good. It looks lined up. Yep, we're lined up. So the pod's going in here. Oh, it's good. It's good. That is excellent. Now, theoretically, when I lift it up, it should take the pod with it. Yes, it's all good. That is just a little whet of your appetite. I hope you're going to watch the final video, which will just be everything showcased together, all the figures, all the support vehicles, another demonstration of this, but that was pack 12 done. Excellent build. I really enjoyed the Thunderbird 2 build. And remember, if you want to subscribe to this yourself, just go over to this web address here. You can get 5% discount off each pack by just putting in that code there. And you can have this over 12 or 24 months. And as you can see, you'll be as happy as I am when it comes to finishing. But that was all 12 packs done. Really, really, really enjoyed that. I heard rumours that there are some extended packs with some extra support vehicles and even the ramp for Thunderbird 2 to go up at, so you can make your whole Tracy Island diorama if you want. Anyway, listen, I hope you liked that whole series of videos. Be sure to check into the final one soon. Take care.